Hi everybody, my name is Angela. Thank you for coming to my channel. Like and subscribe. So it is November. It's the first Monday in November. So we are getting close to the holidays. So I wanted to share my apple butter recipe. And this isn't low carb for all the people that are following me for low carb, but what I like about it is you prepare it, you put it in a crock pot, you let it sit for 10 hours, a few more hours after that, immersion blender, and you put it in jars and you can put it in the freezer and save it to give away as gifts or just for your own family. There's not a whole lot of temptation for me in there. So that's why I also want to share these type of recipes with everybody. So I'm not going to walk you through everything I'm doing, like coring the apples. I know you have better things to do than watch that. So I bought 6.5 pounds of apples from Aldi. I have green and I'm not sure what these are. It says Envy, but it didn't say what kind of apples they are, but they were on sale. So that's why I got it. I'm gonna core these, I'm gonna peel them, core them, and I'm gonna put them in my crock pot. Next, in this bowl, I have, let's see, I have to look at my little instructions. A cup of granulated sugar, a cup of brown sugar, I have a tablespoon of cinnamon, I have a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of ground cloves, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and just for giggles, I put in a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. So I'm gonna mix all this together and I'm gonna put it in my crock pot after the apples are in here, and you set it on low for 10 hours. I'll show you a quickie little picture after what it looks like in the crock pot, but after that, I won't be talking to you for almost 10 hours. So don't miss me or anything. I'll be back. Okay, everybody, so I wanted to show you what 6.5 pounds chopped apples are. It almost filled this up, and as my husband even mentioned, he says, wow, that's a lot of apples, but as it cooks down, we'll see what it looks like. So all I'm gonna do is add all those ingredients I told you about, give it a good stir, put it on low for 10 hours, and after that 10 hours, you stir it again, and throughout, it's okay to open it up and stir it. And then you add vanilla and you put it back on for 2 more hours. And then I'll show you what I do after that. Friends, the apple butter's complete. So these are a pint, and I don't know what size these are. Maybe 8 ounces. And these I think are maybe 16 or 32 ounce. And then I had a little extra left over. My husband gets that in the fridge and he tasted it and it was delicious. So a couple of these will be gifts. So as soon as this completely cools, I'll put the lids on them and put them in the freezer. And then you just take them out when you're ready. But make sure they're completely cool. But the way I finished it off was at the 10th hour, I took off the lid and I added a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Then I stirred it up really good, and then I shut it off for a couple hours. And then I used the immersion blender to blend it up really good. Now, if you don't have one of those, I highly recommend them. They're handy and they're not that expensive. But if you don't have one, just stick it in a blender or a food processor. Just be real careful because it's really hot. And then I scooped them in here. And these are great gifts, especially if you're dieting and you don't want to be tempted with cookies laying around the house. This is great. So when these are all cooled, I'm going to put the lids on them and put them in the freezer until I'm ready to give them away as gifts. You all really need to try this recipe.